Guys, Happy Amber here, and we're back today for something I'm quite excited about. Today we had Custer Airfield. This is a newly released scenery by Attitude Simulations, and I've been looking at this for quite a while since it got announced, and really been looking forward to it. So we're ready to go for a flight today, and why I really think this is going to be an amazing scenery is how they've got 164 square kilometers of orthophoto scenery, where they have placed trees and buildings where trees and buildings are on the orthophotos, and that makes helicopter flying in these areas so fun. It's exactly what Bella Coola has done just for a Canadian region, and it just, like, that's my all-time favorite scenery, if I explain. So I think this is going to be up there, either overtaking Bella Coola or being just under it. So let's get going. Alright, this scenery is available on X-Ray Aviation. I'll leave a link in the description below. It is $25 US, so not too bad, and you get an absolutely amazing looking scenery. So we've borrowed the Monroe County Sheriff Dolly today, because their helicopter is not here. So we've borrowed it today. So we're gonna go ahead and throttle up, and we're gonna get going out of here. So a lot of awesome features about this. We've got a few helipads scattered around. 2 are mentioned, but I believe there are more. At least 1 more. But we're going to go to a power plant today, where there is a helipad that we can check out. I don't know much about the power plant. I've literally just picked this up, loaded into the sim, and started recording this. The scenery was released 20 minutes ago, so this is truly a first impression. Alright, so we're gonna start lifting up here. I haven't flown helicopters in quite a while, so I hope I still got it. I've been busy with the scenery design myself. Okay, that's pretty decent. Do have space both to the right and to the left, so we're gonna go ahead and get a bit clear of the helipad, and then we'll start a right-hand turn here. We still got that annoying shadow artifact in X-Plane with helicopters. Not much to do about that, but hopefully it gets fixed in the next update. Alright, I gotta say, the ground textures here are quite awesome. You can see there's some nice reflection going on over to the left here, kind of where the sun is. You can really see that it's reflecting differently on different parts of the asphalt, so that's really awesome. They've also done the same thing as Bella Coola in the way that they have got custom kind of drawn ground textures. So you can see it's not just a single grass texture, it's not just an orthophoto with a decal on, it's actually handcrafted grass textures that really make the scenery look awesome in this area. So we're going to get going here. We're going to line up on the runway, and we're just gonna head out. And I think we're going to start... well, I don't want to spoil everything, so I think we'll just head towards the power plant, and we'll try and come in and land on that, and then of course getting to that power plant we'll be flying over over the city, so that should give us a pretty good idea of how everything looks. I don't want to spoil the 2 other helipads that I know are there. There is one at a hospital, so we'll definitely be doing a mission on that sometime. And I believe there's also some private little helipad somewhere, so right, we can actually see the power plant already out there. We can just see the 2 big chimneys there. That looks really awesome. So you can really see that the reason why this is so great for helicopter pilots is flying over these fields. You know, there's trees where there should be trees. It's, you know, if you have an engine failure, you will have just an easy or just a difficult time getting the helicopter down into a safe spot as you would in real life, because there's trees where there should be, there's buildings where there should be, there's fields where there should be, and it's just awesome. Here we can start seeing some of the custom buildings they've put in, and it just looks really good. Really is different from the standard X-Plane, and really makes this region feel awesome. We got a gas station down there by the looks of things. Looking awesome. More fields. The not actually quite sure where the hospital is. I'll have to check that out at some other time. I think it's off to a right somewhere, maybe it's behind us already. I mean, you see these commercial areas, we've got custom buildings that line up where they should at what looks to be like a warehouse or a mall or something. So it's just awesome. That's how it should be, and not anything to complain about here. Also, very dense forests, which I really like. These, you know, having forests where there's a tree every 10 meters, it just doesn't feel very good. You also we have custom power lines, and that's something I really like, because it's something that you have to be very worried about and deal a lot with in the real world, but it's not something I ever really consider and explain. So having a scenery with big power lines that you have to watch out for, it's awesome. It's great. Definitely something we need. Alright, we also have a bit of wind going today. I'm not actually quite sure where it is, so we might have to check it out. It might be wind coming from the east, although I'm not sure. We don't have a GPS on us today, so we can't even check our ground speed versus our airspeed, so yeah. This should be interesting. Got some farms down here to our left. Custom farm buildings. Also looked really good. Really impressed. It's a lot of work covering, you know, a big area of X-Plane with custom objects. It's a lot of work, and they've done a good job here. Can't wait to land in, you know, back gardens and people's yards and having a lot of fun doing that. Should be great. Also got some baseball fields down here. Also a football field by the looks of things, and of course a running track. And this seems to be where the orthophotos end, but they have been kind enough to just include the area of the power plant out here. So we'll head out there, and then we might do an off-airport landing in a field somewhere, just to get that done. I'm not actually quite sure exactly where the helipad is up here, so I'm definitely going to have to try and locate it. There are also a lot of wires coming out of there, a lot of power lines, which makes sense, you know, fair enough, it is a power plant. But I'm not quite sure where the helipad is, so we'll have to try and locate that. Also try and see if we can find an indicator of where the wind is coming from. I think it's coming from the east. We might have to do a practice approach to see how it feels coming in. Okay, I see the helipad down there. Yeah, so that should line up quite nicely coming in from this direction too. So I think we'll do a right-hand orbit here over this beautiful green water, and then we'll come into the helipad. And to 60 knots should be a pretty good approach speed. Also losing down a bit of altitude. It looks like we shouldn't be having any trouble with any power lines. They look to be off to the left there. But we're going to watch out for any poles coming down. Of course, want to make sure that we don't hit anything we don't want to. And look at those reactor power plant things. I'm not actually sure. This, yeah, it's really well done. Looks awesome. Now let's concentrate on the approach here. Want to lose a little bit more altitude, but don't want to get too low. Looks like the approaching is pretty clear. It is raised above the lamps here, so don't have to worry too much about lamps. Coming in a bit offset, bit of a out of trim approach. We want to make sure our tail clears the netting. I'm not sure how low our tail is compared to that, but set it down here. And on the ground. I still got that landing plugin installed. I kind of need to get rid of it. It's not super useful, I find. Alright, well that's awesome. That's really big fan of the textures. They've done a great job. I did get Druseki's Washington X because it had a bunch of helipads and it looked like a really good scenery, but when you landed on the helipads they were just really low quality. Like, they weren't very high resolution. It was landing on a blurry square. It's very awesome to see a high-res helipad. They've done a great job. Also with the netting here, you can really, yeah, it's awesome. Let's check it out from the exterior view here. Alright, I'll say that was a pretty good spot to land. And a bunch of custom objects around here as well. A nice tower over there. Really something you have to watch out for. There's a bunch of things that just make this so immersive. Some of the real life dangers and stuff. Alright, let's get going out of here. Start lifting up. That back pressure. Left side click. Come up straight. And we'll depart out to the right here. Out over the sea. Go, 92% power. Over the water, and we can start gaining some altitude. Bunch of cool spots down there for sure. Alright, so we'll start heading back to the airport, and as I said, we'll try and do an approach into a field, and I might try and pick kind of a tricky spot, maybe with some power lines if I can see a good one. Yeah, it definitely feels like we have the wind at our tail now. Moving around a bit more, being a bit more twitchy. That's a pretty good indication that we have a tailwind. That's the baseball fields over there. We've also done a good job at blending the ortho photos in with the default scenery. It looks natural. They've kind of took the edges of fields and the edges of roads to make that transition nice. They haven't just cut, a field in half, because that would be very obvious. I've tried that myself, and cutting a field in half, just erasing half of it, and then trying to blend that in with the default scenery, it becomes very clear that it's that as a transition there, it's the way that they've done it is not super clear. It's a nice transition. Alright, so we do have some fields down here. Don't know if I'll land in these. Maybe we'll have to set up with the nose into the east. The wind was definitely coming from the east. I could feel that landing at that helipad. It was very clear. We got a train down here. Let's fly by and say hi to the train. Drop the collective a bit. Try and fly next to it here in the fields where you would be allowed to do this. We do have that massive factory over there to the right, but I'm sure they won't mind a helicopter flying past. That looks awesome with the trees on either side. That's pretty sweet. Alright, well I think we'll turn into the wind and do an approach and land in here. Not the most difficult approach, but coming in nicely into a field. And this is what's fun with these sceneries. All the opportunities of doing off-airport landings is awesome. Coming down smoothly, and again we have that landing plugin. I mean, it's nice knowing that you've done an excellent landing, but yeah. Awesome. Let's get going here again. We'll depart out to just straight ahead. Get the wind at our nose and a max performance takeoff, getting over these trees. Rolling 96% power. A lot of left pedal, even though we're up to 60 knots, we're keeping that left pedal in. And we'll start a right turn and get the power down a little bit. Not a true max performance takeoff, but not too shabby. Also got some factory stuff out here. I'll have to go and check that out. Maybe in the future some factory worker out there magically gets injured and needs to ride to the hospital with a helicopter. You never know. Alright, I really have to figure out some landmarks and ways to find my way back to the airport, because I'm not actually quite sure what direction I should be heading. I think I'm heading in the general right direction, but I don't know if the helipad is off slightly to my right or slightly to my left, or maybe all the way over there. Who knows? Definitely have to. Oh no, there it is. I'm heading straight for it. Sweet. Yeah, I'll have to learn the area a lot more. We got a golf course down here. They are really fun to do auto rotations into. It's an obvious place because there's big open green areas that are fairly long, but if there's trees where there should be trees, which there is at that golf field because it's made by Attitude Simulations, then you really have to watch out. It's great fun. I can't wait to just come out here and start cutting the throttle. I'll probably do it way too often, you know, just use an excuse that I'm training my auto rotations, but yeah, it's fun. Nice parking lots down here, nice warehouse buildings, got some wide streets as well that look really really good, look like they should, and they're lining up nicely with orthophotos. This field off the airport, these fields here, there's a bunch of forest right here, and then some nice fields. They should also be quite fun. Come in. We're on a very sharp left base here. And we have a bit of a tailwind. We have a tailwind now, so we'll have a crosswind coming in, but not too big of a deal for us helicopter pilots. Start our turn. Oh, the collective. This also looks really good. Look at that taxiway texture and the transition. Really well done. Got pappy lights. Overshot the runway a tiny bit. Then we'll fly down and take the first taxiway here. Not that we really have to. Taxiway, who knows? Taxiway Alpha 1. We'll do a fast taxi. Fairly long taxiway. Got some nice taxiway lights. They also look custom. I'm sure those taxiway lights are custom. Oh, that's a windsock. Oh. I should have probably checked the winds with a windsock before we took off, but I quite honestly didn't notice them. It looked like a custom. Oh, we've got an open hangar as well. Sweet, so you can start with your Cessna 172 or Piper Cub in there. Looks like we have a windsock up here too. Is that a windsock? Don't think so. Really awesome ground textures, and the buildings are also looking really good. I'm really impressed. A lot of ground clutter as well. We have an ambulance. We have a bunch of ground clutter. It looks honestly really good. Yeah, a hydrant, a nice gate. Not much to complain about at all. And back here we need to slow down here and get it over to the left to get center line on those yellow lines, which is about there, and then we're landing far forward and a bit to the right, but the helipad is nice and big, so no worries there. Alright, well, I'll get the helicopter shut down, but check the scenery out in the description below. Honestly, really awesome scenery. A lot of detail. I can highly recommend it. So I'll, as I said, leave a link to it in the description down below. Go check it out, and yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video, and hopefully you guys go and get this scenery. Also keep in mind, I have bought this scenery myself. I'm just really impressed by it. It really is an awesome scenery for you GA VFR pilots. It's great. But as I said, if you liked the video, please go ahead and give it a like, and until the next video, guys, take care.